Hey guys, I'm back to clean. And I feel like we need some. Hi, it's Robyn T. Live around. How's it going?
Hi, Bree. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining in today. We are really happy to be here. We are coming to you from occupied Duwamish territory, aka Seattle, Washington. And our original theme music is by Cuddy Fresh, aka Carrie Williams. Really happy to be here today. Hi, Queen Bree.
Hey, this is crazy. Six episode, and with us, thank you for supporting. How are you feeling with this?
Hi there.
Hey, how are you?
It's a little delayed for me to hear you right now. It's a little echoey, so I'm not quite sure when you're ending, but I heard you talking about how excited you were about our 6th episode. And we had a couple really great shows with guests already this year. So we're excited to both be here and talk about some things today that are important that we've been personally working on. And perhaps you could call in and share with us as well on some of these topics. So, what did you first want to talk about, Bree? I think you've been hitting up some really important goals for yourself, and how are you doing mentally and spiritually and all that?
Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. It's just a little bit delayed, so I'm not sure.
Ooh, my ear, I can hear you guys on. So I'm just gonna keep talking. 6 episode about the 6th episode. Banana. All right, let's get this. So 6th episode. Very thankful and Robyn being excited. The black not means. We are excited to be what we're doing, healthy land. that jazz. So why don't you go first?
If you're asking me about checking in, I am definitely happy to tell you how I'm doing this year.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, great. So we have been meeting quite a bunch about getting our CSA ready, but on the personal side, it's been quite a good start to the year, I'd say. We're working on our goals. So I have been, trying to stay centered. I've been trying to be present. I've been restarting some of my old kind of things I worked on before. So getting enough sleep and really letting go of any of the mental chatter that is negative, or accepting it and then continuing on with what has been working for me. So reincorporated some more yoga and dance, which are the physical activities I like to do to stay healthy. One of the main things that I have been working on is just prepping and making more meals. I got kind of busy there for a couple of weeks, and I did a little more takeout, and that was kind of nice because I didn't have to cook. But then I realized I do a lot better when I do. So I've been prepping some meals and feeling really good about that. And just one of the best parts of my goals is that I haven't really been too hard on myself. And again, I use the same thing I did before, which is have help of friends and accountability partners and people to keep me going. And it looks like Queen Bree is back, and I know she has been just crushing some goals. So tell us how you've been doing this new year. Thanks.
Oh my God, I'm nervous. Can you guys hear me?
You're perfect right now. Yeah, good job. Yeah, you've been doing a lot of good IT fixes, and like just I mean, all across the board, like our website, like you've been leading all of our Zoom meetings. So like hats off to you for that.
Thank you. Listen, your girl Bree has been busy this year, but I'm so excited. It's a new year. I'm very hopeful. We are a part of Clean Greens, which is exciting. I've known about Clean Greens my whole life because I go to the same church as them. I've known them. So to be a part of Clean Greens, and now it's really getting real now. We're getting into the planning and actions. So I'm excited about this year. I'm excited that we have new leadership in the White House. Woo! I mean,
yeah,
I'm not one of those people that said, oh, we got new leadership in the White House, everything is going to be peachy keen. I'm not one of those people, but I am excited to have what we consider an adult in the White House, okay? Because we have been having a big baby in the White House for the past few years. So yeah, I started my own business. I am on a 21-day, they say it takes 21 days to break some habits, right? So I am on a 21-day breaking some bad habits, creating some new habits. And I've been really good. And when I came back in, you were talking about not being too hard on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times we can be too hard on ourselves when we're trying to do anything, but it's all about taking it one day at a time, one step at a time. I just told my daughter the other day, I'm like, we are all human beings. This is our first time in life at the age we're at, figuring it all out. All we know is what we've been taught. And some of the stuff we've been taught isn't always the best. So we're just taking it day by day, changing our habits into something positive for our lives. So I'm so excited. It feels weird because it's like we're all excited about the new year, but it's not the new year because we've had 2 guests so far, 2 awesome guests. Kitchen mechanic was here. He was really good, telling us about how to cook with less salt, using more fresh herbs, and I want to say fruit, but really he used lemon. But I think fresh herbs and fruit would help take out some of that sodium in our food we've been eating.
And yeah, that was really fun to have him on. He's awesome. So I love to see his business, everything he's doing just flourish. He's really into helping people. So we're happy to have him on, and like hope to have him on some more and cook up some Clean Greens food.
we're definitely going to have him back on. We're going to have him back on soon, especially when we get our fresh produce, because I want him to whip up something really nice with that fresh produce when they come in. It's so funny because before, when they used to try to get me to go out on the farm, I was like, no, I'm not going out there. It's dirt out there. It's in the middle of nowhere. Is there anybody out there? Is there any service? My city sec was like, is there any service? But you know what? I miss being out there on the farm, and I can't wait to get back out there and harvest some vegetables.
I
And
feel the same way. The farm is so beautiful. It's like any, residual anxiety we have from being in the city just kind of melts away. And then we go out there and the fields are covered with this fog, and then it starts melting away and we see the beautiful produce.
yeah,
And yes, it definitely is muddy. So we're going to keep reminding you, if you want to come to the farm, you wear your boots. Okay. And if you don't have boots, you go get some boots, and then you get ready to kind of sink in the mud. But it is so fun out there. So lots has been going on out there. So we'll get into that as well.
So then I want to highlight our other guest, Dr. Alicia, who'll be back on. She's so cool. We had a Instagram update. We went on Instagram Live and talked a little bit about our show from last week. So if you get a chance, go check us out on Instagram. And if you have any questions, just ask her and at her, Happy Healthy Dr. Alicia, and she may be able to answer some questions. She will be back on soon, but Happy Healthy Dr. Alicia is having her second baby and is due next month. So exciting, but she won't be here for February.
Very exciting. And I hope she has the most lovely time with her new baby, and we'll be thinking of her then. And yeah, give her some time with that little sweet pea. And she was amazing and had such great information for us. So on almost a serious note, like the work she's doing and the things she's educating us all on is such important work. So you can find that episode in the archives, and you can get in touch with us for any of that info about 6 ways to self-advocate in healthcare. And we're really hoping what you were saying about, there's a new administration, but that doesn't mean the work ends. And we're really hoping and learning that there's going to hopefully be some real systemic change, some transformation, and we'll try and keep everyone updated on that. There were several executive orders to address equity and racial justice passed. So we're going to keep some accountability going with this administration and talk some about that. So.
Right. And you know what? Even with that, we have to remember, first of all, things take time. He just got in there and he's doing some stuff. And also we put too much emphasis on them, and we don't give ourselves enough credit with the power we have. So even if you're like, okay, somebody called him, it's not funny, but I thought it was funny because I was like, really? They called him Dividen. I was like, okay, that was cute, Dividen. But I don't understand how he's dividing the world when this whole last person, all he did was divisive things. Yeah. And now, like, we all hate each other off of politics. When if we take politics away, if we take Democrat or if we take Republican away, we are all the same people with some of the same thoughts. I mean, just some of us really believe that human lives matter, regardless if you're Black, white, Asian, Native. Okay, if you consider yourself boy, girl, boy, I mean, that's not our business. So some of us, I think that people have the right and to be who they are and who they want to be, right? But I think that we give too much power and saying, oh, this new administration in, all the work is done. It's like, no, we have to continue the work. They have to continue it in the office, but we have to continue it down here. And if he comes in and he's not doing what he said he was going to do, we hold it to his neck like we did Trump. It's nothing personal. It's our lives as well. So anybody who is thinking, oh, it's where we have a savior. No, Biden is not our savior. It's going to take all of us to get in there and do the work and keep speaking up. So I just want to, because I hear a lot of people like, oh, you guys think you're going to wake up and your lives are going to change. No, I don't think that. It just gives me more hope that we have someone in the office that isn't going to be saying the most randomest, craziest things off of a feeling, but doing the research and then going to get his advisor and then having a conversation.
Right. And you were saying we can't forget about ourselves having power. And so, yes, what we're doing here, we're going to support each other. We're going to help each other and really push for some of those bigger changes. That is a funny noise.
You know what? While you handle that noise, I'm glad you said that. I want to highlight because a lot of the times when we talk about voting, and I want to talk about this more too in a different episode. When we talk about voting, I hear a lot of people around my age, maybe a little younger, and they don't feel like Black votes matter. And I just want to highlight how much the Black votes mattered this time, especially
Right.
in Georgia. So, for those of you who think your votes don't matter, your votes matter. It matters. This is your life. Don't not vote because you think you're not going to be heard. Because if you organize, if you do the work, if you keep moving and you stay focused, your work will be heard. So please remember, all of our votes matter. And we need to keep that in the forefront because 4 years can go by so fast. And make sure you're staying up on I know the news can be a little much. So just make sure you're like checking in every now and then, researching people. It's not just about being a Democrat or a Republican. It is about the people. We are all a community. We are all on this earth and we got to learn to work together. So
Yes, yes. And a good indicator too that Black votes matter is if they didn't, why would some people spend so much energy and effort trying to suppress those votes? You know what I mean? And that's a real thing.
yeah,
Voter suppression is real. So there are a lot of people who don't get the opportunity to vote that should, or that they're trying to stop. So there was no evidence that there was any voter fraud. It is a whole different situation when they're trying to suppress Black votes and votes from people of color. So your vote does matter because they're trying to not have you vote. You know what I mean?
it's
So
crazy. It's
there's
like,
an indicator right there.
and it's like with the vote, like the whole voting thing, like the voter fraud. Now, what news were they watching where they seen voting fraud, right? One, you say there's voting fraud, but then you say there's fake news. So what news was you watching or what videos was you watching to see that there was voter fraud? I'm
I
like,
think it was just I think it was just Trump's Twitter.
"Sweet.
Right?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So I mean, that was a big part of it. So, but and they were able to organize a little bit. But here's the thing: we are doing a lot here to organize and build community. So we get to talk about that too. What we're doing with Clean Greens to build community, and if enough people aren't getting what they need and served, and there's a lot of people that are struggling due to the pandemic and struggling financially, and our mental health is gonna take a dip because we're not able to see people and we're concerned, and certain communities are hit harder. I mean, even within Seattle, from like Ballard to South Seattle, if you look at the cases there. And so it is really important that we're here also to talk to you about the mission of Clean Greens and some things we're doing there, and how much Clean Greens Farm and Market was able to help in the pandemic, and there was a lot they had to overcome as well. So Bree and I are actively working on these projects, and we're really excited. And I know you have some numbers of how much
Yes.
food was given away from Clean Greens, and we are going to talk to you about how you can help as well. So let's hear about that.
Okay, before I get into the numbers, I just want to thank all of our CSA, our community from Clean Greens. We appreciate you because not only did Clean Greens go through a whole pandemic and stayed strong and was able to still continue to serve our community, but we also lost part of our CSA, I mean, our Clean Greens with Lottie Cross. We lost her in March, and it's almost been a year, and I won't keep talking because every time I talk about it, I almost cry. Um, we're just really grateful that you guys stuck it out with us. We're still missing her, and we just want to thank you. Anyways,
I
okay,
know.
sorry. Um,
Yeah.
so Clean Greens, even through all that, we were still able to give away like 7.5 tons of food. So that in itself is so amazing, and I'm so happy to be a part of this community. We gave away 7.5 tons of food, 5.5 tons of fresh vegetables, and then 2.5 tons from USDA food distribution. A lot of that went out to our CSAs, came and picked up their stuff at our farm stands. Then we had the community coming up, picking up their free vegetables and food, which was really good because a lot of people lost their jobs during this pandemic. A lot of people, even with me, I never lost my job, but just my kids, I have 4 of them, being home every day, all day, who said they're hungry all the time. I mean, like, so for people who go through that, this food was really helpful. We gave away food to 2 amazing chefs that are out here in the community cooking for people who are in need. Chef Tariq at Coyote Central, Melissa from Mustang Cafe on Beacon Hill. Some produce went to Madrona Elementary and some of the USDA boxes. Um, we also helped out Quick Sack Lunch, and then True Vine Village, which is an extension of New Hope Baptist Church and True Vine Church. It's a tiny village home, so they were able to be fed. So through all of that, we still were able to help, and I feel so blessed to be a part of this.
I feel blessed too. Thanks for telling us about how much was done. We have really spent a good part of this winter diving into why we're all here, kind of doing this work and re-highlighting the missions, trying to continue the mission of the people that started Clean Green, Dr. Robert Jeffrey, who will be on the show coming up soon, as well as Lottie Cross, who was lost and passed away during this, right before the season. So many volunteers helped, and so many people really rallied to make sure to get the community fed. And it's been really beautiful. We spent a lot of time reconnecting with the mission so that we could talk to you about it a little more today, and organize so that we can have another really good, successful year, and ultimately strengthen community by giving away even more food, because we're not out of this pandemic yet. And even if we were, there's still people in need, and that's just how it is. There's a big income gap in Seattle. I mean, it's extreme here. So there's a lot of people that don't have as much access. So with our CSA program, people pay for a share and get a weekly box of produce, and that directly goes back to our program. And you can pick those up on Saturdays. We just launched the signups; they're live. And if you aren't in the area and you want to support, you can still go to the website and donate. And if you like getting into the mud, you can hit us up to volunteer with us. We're getting all of our lists together right now so that we're ready to go. And we are, already getting the planting ready. So you'll be able to hear from Tom, who has been farming at Clean Greens for like 14 years too. And he's great. He's going to come on the show. So many ways to be involved. And if you haven't taken a look at the website and how amazing and beautiful the produce is, come on, this is organic produce. It's pesticide free. There's a lot of beautiful stuff, and we're just going to expand this year.
So amazing things happen. As being a part of Clean Greens, just watching the work that Dr. Jeffrey and Lottie has done, and it's amazing to be a part and to see and be behind the scenes. Lottie was this woman who took on so much, and now it's like we're all breaking it down into different things. And I'm sitting here like, I've been helping doing just with a little bit of me doing the website and doing the Zoom and all this. And I'm like, how did she
How
do
did
this?
she do it all? How
It's
did she do it all?
crazy. So it's so fun to be a part of it. And I hope that you guys can come in and help volunteer. It's really, this is another part how we help our community and giving back and feeding and showing up for one another. So if you guys want to be a part, please reach out to us and let us know.
Yes,
So
and you can see they put up some pictures right here on the
yeah,
videos. So appreciate that, much appreciated. That's because we're on Rainier Avenue Radio. We like to keep mentioning this is the Clean Greens Living Show. You can always catch us on the Rainier Avenue Radio.world website, app, Facebook, all that good stuff, and YouTube. So yeah, there's all the beautiful vegetable pictures because we love those.
and then I'm so excited about our upcoming shows. Next month is Black History Month, but you know what? Black History Month is year round. I don't know why that hasn't been input into the
For real.
curriculum. I'm hoping sometime soon it'll be into the curriculum as history. So next month we'll be celebrating it, and I'm so excited because we're going to be kicking off with food and social justice, talking about that with some girls, which is important because it's real out here. You never think, like, I never thought about it. It was like when I would go into grocery stores, I would see the difference of the vegetables and the fruit in one part of the neighborhood versus a different part of the neighborhood. But I never really thought much into it until I started really being in Clean Greens and being a part of this journey and hearing these girls speak, and then also being out in the fields and understanding that there is things going on even with our food. And this is what I love about Clean Greens mission, is that we want to make sure that people who don't have access to those very fresh, beautiful fruits that we see in the in nice neighborhoods, and not in the I don't want to say not nice neighborhoods, but in the people of color neighborhoods, we want them to have access to that. And so I'm excited about this next month of learning more about our history, things that we didn't even know, and then getting everyone on this food and social justice mission and just really understanding that it starts from the ground up. And yeah, sorry, am I rambling? Go ahead, Robyn.
No, not sorry, actually, because it is so important. Food justice is racial justice. And,
Yeah,
you started learning about it and you're like, yeah, actually, why was there not a grocery store in this neighborhood before such and such was
yeah.
being built up? Like,
When
why?
Clean Green
Why?
started, when Clean
Yeah,
Green started, it was only two grocery stores. It was Grocery Outlet and it was Red
the Red
Apple.
Apple. Yeah.
I miss
So this
Red
is
Apple.
the central district, and that is where the market stand will be
Yeah.
on 21st and Yesler. And like I said, all that information's on the website, and you can read a ton about the mission and the history. And it's almost time for us to say goodbye. Thanks again for joining us. I'll let you take us out, Queen Bree. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Sorry. Thank you guys. And thanks for tuning in to Clean Greens Living on Rainier Avenue Radio. We hope you tune in next week to talk about food and social justice in our community. We appreciate you. Thank you. We're here live on Rainier Avenue Radio every Thursdays, 3:30 p.m. Thank you for joining us.
Rainier Avenue Radio.world.